Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the OFFPLAN show. Today, I'm extremely excited because we have a special guest in the studio, in the OFFPLAN show studio. And this is the show where we give you genuine information on real estate, investment, and business. So today, we have an amazing guest. He is an investor, he is a businessman, and he is also the gladiator. I'm extremely excited to welcome Dariush to the studio.
Thank you for
How
inviting
you
me.
doing?
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank
You're an
you for being
incredible
here.
young man with a fantastic future.
Thank
So
you.
if people like us can support you, it'd be my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Really means a lot
Thank
to
you.
hear that coming from you. First and foremost, I want to ask you this, Dariush. How important is selling as a skill in life?
Well, the challenge is that the moment you say sale, people say, well, I'm not a salesperson, right? The problem is that we're all selling all of the time. As a mother, you're selling to go for a haircut or to go to the movies or to your children. The children are selling the moment they wake up that they want that sweet, they want that toy. So we're constantly selling, but somewhere along the way, when we become adults, we associate negativity with sales. We say sales is something that you shove down people's throats, but they don't really want it. Yes. So selling is a skill that everybody must have. Otherwise, you never get anything you want. When you go for a job, when you
Yeah,
meet a partner, you're selling yourself, right? You're selling
right.
yourself as a partner, ideal partner. You're selling yourself as an ideal employee. When you're an employer, you're selling your company to the potential employees. But people avoid the word sale. So I think what we should do is we should actually really enjoy the word sale and be proud of it. And salespeople, really great salespeople, are often the ones who actually earn more money than the CEO of the company.
Right. Yeah.
So critical.
Yeah.
Sales is critical.
So everything in life is all about selling.
Everything.
Excellent.
Everything. Even when you die, they try to sell you the funeral coffin. Come to mine. Yes, there will be a better coffin than the other coffin. So everybody's selling, even from the moment you're born to the moment you die.
Sell your
Everybody's,
life insurance, so you're still alive.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, speaking of selling, and you say that the employees of the company tend to even earn higher than the CEO. Do you think that cold calling works in the modern real estate market? Does cold
Yes.
calling really work? Does it still work
Yes.
anymore?
Yes, it does. Cold calling is the hardest thing to do when it comes to sales, because especially now in the 21st century we're in, the buyers are so aware of people who cold call them. So you have to be smarter. Unfortunately, the way people sell hasn't changed much. So I'm sure you get calls from banks, real estate agents all the time.
Yeah, just
Credit
right
card,
now.
exactly. And they just don't picture anything. The moment they go, hello, you know they're trying to sell you something. So they haven't really polished their act. That's why cold calling is more difficult. People who are not trained properly, companies who don't train their employees properly. Because before the phone rings, the first thing I'm thinking, and remember, 30 years ago, when we were hitting with 8,000 pieces of advertising a day, but now we're hitting with 20, 30,000 pieces of advertising a day. So the buyers are smarter than ever before.
Yeah.
So, but the way we sell hasn't changed much. So cold calling's never been easy, but you have 3 to 4 seconds to capture that person's attention on hello. And you got to work on why should that guy give me another 30 seconds of his time? And not many people think that. They're too busy selling a product. They're too busy selling a phone, a loan, a house, a property. They're order takers. They don't inspire someone on the phone on a cold call to hold on and listen to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's critical. I love cold calling.
Yeah.
I love cold calling. Again, another thing, because it's hard, most people rely on things like social media.
Yeah.
So if I open my social media platform and reach out to 1,000 people, they will come to me. But then you're not in charge of your own destination. You're not in charge of your own, journey. If I pick up the phone and call someone, and the more people I call, I'm in charge of my own journey where I go. Because sales is a numbers game, business is a numbers game. But to keep posting and hoping the business comes in, it's kind of leaving it to the universe to bring it on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think perhaps that's the most logical explanation that I've had in recent times, because I've asked so many people, does it still work?
Do you know why? Because they're not salespeople. You've asked entrepreneurs who, you and I, our backgrounds are the same, right? We worked in hotel lobbies, we were bellboys.
Yeah.
Literally, I've sold vacuum cleaners door to door. I'll give you an example. When I was younger, do you like that? Younger.
Yeah.
I used to sell vacuum cleaners, and it was called Kirby vacuum cleaners. And the Kirby vacuum cleaner was about $3,000 a piece for a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And their claim to fame was that if you actually stuck this vacuum cleaner on top of a bus, you could lift the bus. That's its suction power, right? So I thought, oh, you know, it's a good vacuum cleaner. And my territory was a rich neighborhood. Okay.
Yeah.
The week I started, they said, we're going to do finance and we're going to send you the poorest neighborhood. And what was amazing was I thought, there's no way in the world people are going to buy a $3,000 vacuum cleaner in a neighborhood when they don't spend $3,000 a year on rent.
Yeah.
You won't believe how many people bought it and bought it on finance, right? Because the poor want to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
When the rich thinking, I don't need this,
Yeah.
right? But my perception was that I'm never going to sell anything in this neighborhood, right? But then I was door knocking, and when I was successful, when it was raining, you know, people opened the door, felt sorry for me. I was there with my shoulder pads, glasses, hair,
Yeah.
and I looked like a mess. I said, oh, if this poor guy's knocking on doors in the middle of the rain, let's get him in.
Yeah.
I knocked on doors where he said, salesman, do not call. I used to run away. And my manager said, no, these are the ones you got to sell to. I said, why? He says, because they say yes to everyone. That's why they got a sign outside saying, salesman, don't call. Because they're afraid to answer the door because they're going to buy it, right?
Yeah.
So every time I knocked, I sold. And a good thing was 90% of my competition also walked away. But I knocked on that door.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I want to direct your attention to something else. Recently, we've seen the introduction of tax. So we now have a 9% tax, corporate tax. How do you think that's going to impact business moving forward?
Not really. What is 9% tax when you look at 55 and 60% in the Europe and in the States, right? Because you don't pay just corporation tax, you pay national insurance, value-added tax, also things. We're blessed. We've just been very, very spoiled. And the fact is that the tax is on your net profit, not your gross. So here you could easily stick your expenses, travel expenses, wine and dining expenses, and declare very little tax. So what it is good, by the way, I'm an optimist. So what it is good, if you're in a country here where you don't pay tax, the IMF and other funders around the world, they think it's dodgy. But having some kind of law and order and accountancy and auditing due to the tax purposes, the flow of money will come in more. Because right now, if I want to transfer money here to the UK, I sent out 2,500, 10,000 dirhams. 4 weeks gone, it's stuck at the banks because of money laundering checks. Yes, but when everything is audited and approved by the IMF and stuff, flow of money will improve. And not just going out of UAE, coming into UAE. So I think it's amazing. And I think people should pay taxes.
Do you think income tax might be coming right after that? Are they going to push some of these expenses to us, the people working for the
In
corporation?
a way, we're paying tax anyway, right? We pay tax when we buy a property.
Yeah.
We pay tax. The government controls the DUA. They control DU, all our flights, hotels. You pay room tax.
Yeah.
So we're kind of being taxed anyway. The costs are higher than anywhere else in the world, but our earnings are higher. So everything's relevant. And if you talk to most billionaires on the planet, they want to pay high taxes. Because that's one way of giving back to society.
Right.
Right? Because they made their billions. They got more money than they could ever imagine. The poor think negative. The rich think positive. The rich want to give back. They want to pay taxes. They're not greedy. The rich aren't greedy. The poor are greedy. Because the poor think money's limited. The poor think, right, if I give this, I'm not going to get it anywhere else. And they're very protective, right?
Yes.
The rich think money flows everywhere. I'm happy to pay taxes. I'm happy to pay for this. I'm happy for this because it flows in. It's just a mindset.
Yeah. Speaking of the flow of money and generating wealth, what business made, and I'm honestly, I put this in because I wanted to know, what business made you your first million?
Health clubs.
Health club.
Health clubs. I used to own gyms. So the health club business. I guess before that it was cosmetics. I was in cosmetics.
Really?
So
And how did you make money?
Gym memberships.
Gym membership.
Well, you open up a gym, it's got a capacity of 300 people, you sign 3,000 people, knowing that 75% of people don't show up. And they pay every single year. Every single month, people pay and they don't show up because they make a New Year's resolution. They're going to get fit, they're going to health, they're going to go to the gym. By February, March, 75% of people don't go. It's peak print money. And also, the way to make money is to have residual income. So amounts coming every single month rather than big hits. And that's one of the reasons most people who are unhappy in real estate and they want to try different roles, they never leave. You know why? Because they're always waiting for that next big deal, that next big commission. So they're stuck. They don't have any money. They're waiting for that next real estate deal to come along.
Yeah.
You look at me like this rings a bell, right? You've come across people who've experienced that.
I'm still stuck in the fact that you made $1 million in gym memberships.
Millions. Yeah, millions.
It's pretty one of the toughest industries, I think.
It's not. It's easy.
I mean, it's very hard to just sell somebody a gym membership. You know?
No, it's okay. Again, it comes back to sales, right? If somebody walks into your gym, you're a gym owner, okay? What's the most common thing stupid gym owners do? They show them around the equipment. Let me take you for a tour. Yes? But they don't realize people aren't there to buy equipment. They're there for the environment, the experience, and the results they're going to get. So what happens is the reason it's tough because gym owners don't sell the gym membership correctly. So when they came to mine, I wouldn't sell them the equipment. I'll sell them the story. I'll tell them the story of why our gyms are different to anybody else, what the outcome is, how we're going to take care of them. Because if you sell the experience and share your journey, people get emotionally attached. But unfortunately, I was talking to somebody yesterday, 6 years ago, I went to look at his gym, and all his trainers were solid and they fancied themselves. So it was it was too much. When somebody came in and they were slightly overweight, they felt they didn't want to go in that gym because everyone was good looking. Right? They were selling equipment, not the experience. They had attitudes, and the gym it didn't make it. It didn't make it. Right. He didn't work with me. The fact is, I actually spent half a day, did a whole review, sent the details, and he ghosted me. Yeah, and screw him. 6 years later, I found out he went bust. So great.
Right. I'm sure you must have learned from his mistakes, but most importantly, I want to ask you, what mistakes did you do on a failed business so that, young entrepreneurs can learn from that?
Well, there's common mistakes people make. So I'm kind of person who doesn't kind of think about my mistakes too long. You learn, you move on. Okay?
Correct.
So most people live that pain of making a mistake too long and they stay with it too long. Like for instance, I have a personal trainer. And he's the most wonderful guy. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I have sessions with him. But every single day, he talks about his mistakes that he made 10 years back, 15 years back, 20. But he can't go forward. He'll never be wealthy because he's constantly thinking about his mistakes. Right? So you learn, you move on. Your mistakes are your lessons. So that's the first thing, the way you translate mistakes into lessons. Your setbacks as hurdles. Right? Cash flow is important. I think one is motivation. You got to be driven, right? So I have a salesperson this morning. I asked for a report. She said, I'm going to make 10 telephone calls, 10 cold calls. And I know 10 cold calls may get one sale, but she could easily make 50 telephone calls, right? Yes. But then she set the bar too low for herself. So people they're not driven enough to make 50 calls. They don't want to be uncomfortable. So most people are in a comfort zone and they're wanting. They don't desire it enough to make that move. That's first thing. Second thing is cash flow. People don't charge enough because they don't value themselves. Okay? Right. What they think is that, Mr. Buyer, you have the cash and I'm offering you my services. So you are God and I'm your servant, right? And it's not that way. The way I sell, I feel you may have the cash, but the services, my experience, what the value I'm going to bring in far exceeds the cash you're going to give me. So I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah.
You see? So the whole energy of the meeting changes when you're adding value to somebody's life compared to what they're paying you. So why wait? Let's do business now, and I add far more value than the cash you're gonna give me. And if you're not happy, I'll give you a full refund. Let's do it.
Do you think before you used to charge less?
Yeah, all the time. I still do charge less. You know, I charge what I think is good, and I find out my competitor charge 5 times the amount. Then I think self-worth. You know, I have to. We all work on our self-worth because somewhere along the way, our parents told us we weren't good enough. The bank manager told us, certainly the teachers told us we weren't good enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just conditioned to have very little self-worth, and everything comes to motivation, drive, desire, and self-worth. Because you only charge what you think you're worth.
Right.
You only get paid what you think you're worth. If you think you're worth 10 dirhams a day, right, I'm not going to give you 12. Right? I'm going to give you 10 because you're happy with 10. But then the fact is that your colleagues could be earning 10,000 dirhams a day. But that's, you call the shots and I give you what you wanted.
Right.
But then here's the thing. If you demand a lot, make sure you deliver.
Yeah.
Because somebody comes to me and demand a lot of salary, they're magnifying glasses on them. They better deliver, otherwise they're out quickly.
Yeah. Got it.
I can tell you like, oh my God, these answers are different.
Yeah, because I thought
your eyes are glazed.
Correct. I was looking for a specific answer, but you actually went in and said actually cash flow. I picked that up, and I was like, you are right. We need to focus on the cash flow of the business, then
and also with cash flow, my friend, people think I will deliver the service and I'll charge, and then when the person's got the service, they delay paying. When I arrived here, I had no money and I had to pay rent. So I said, you pay me up front. And all my customers, even today, pay me up front.
Yeah.
Because that was my value, that was my boundaries, that's just my rule. And it's amazing when you're clear with your rules, people will obey.
Yeah.
So most people aren't. They haven't got clarity.
Yeah.
So they get inconsistency in their lives. Yes. They get inconsistency in their love, they get inconsistency in their earnings, quality of life, standards, everything. Because they don't know their values, they're not clear with their boundaries.
Yeah. Beautifully said. I want to ask you this, the world right now is looking at rich people, right? And they're saying the rich people should, pay for the healthcare. The rich people should pay for infrastructure. So my question right now is, does tax the rich really make sense?
No, because the more you tax the rich, the more they take the money somewhere else. Okay? But the fact is that the world has always been like that since the Roman times, and it wasn't negotiable. They'll kill you, right? And killing was just part of negotiations. So things are so easy now, right? The fact is that, I'll give you an example. In a European country like England, if you have a Ferrari, they'll key it. Yeah, they'll get a key and go all the way across. And that's jealousy. Here in Dubai, they take pictures.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think most people in Dubai think like that. I think poor people with poor mentalities in Africa, Asia, Europe, West think that. Because if you're rich, you must have done something wrong, so you got to pay back. But then most rich people are good people. Most rich people are decent people. Most rich people help with charity. Just that poor, and it's again our upbringing, is that money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are bad people. We are brought up to think that money is not good. Right?
Yeah.
And most rich people do great things with money.
Yeah. I certainly do agree. Connecting to that, Dariush, I'm gonna ask you something also related to that topic. The world is changing right now, right? Somebody invests in a certain asset class and it shoots to the moon and they have a lot of money. Do you think we're entering an age of classism where the rich get super rich and the poor remain poorer?
I was speaking to a gentleman a couple of days ago, and he said the poor 40 years ago accounted for 25% of the world population. Today, the poor account for 9% of the world population. So the numbers are increasing. Is the divide getting bigger? Absolutely. Why? $1 billion is 1,000 millions, right? And if you have a billion, if you're a billionaire, you won't even get into the top 1,000 richest people in America. If you have $1,000 million, you won't get into the top 1,000 people in America. Seriously, filthy rich people out there. The poor are getting richer, the poor are getting more comfortable, but this divide is getting bigger. Okay?
Yeah.
The poor aren't getting poorer. The
Yeah.
poor are having more water, more food, everything, more comfort, more education, more health. Okay? But the divide is getting bigger.
That's right.
It's crazy. And here it's not so bad, right? But then in Europe and in America, where all your assets are being bought by the rich and the poor are paying rent to the rich and they're not getting the healthcare they want, they're not getting the facilities, the infrastructure, they're in trouble. They're in trouble because soon the masses are going to rise up and say, that's why nationalism is coming out. That's why people are saying protection, like Trump and stuff like this in Italy and Germany.
Yeah.
They think that people from abroad are coming to ruin their country.
Yeah.
So they become more protectionist. And it's absolutely opposite. It's actually proven that expats coming in, they actually contribute to society. They pay more taxes, they work harder. Unfortunately, the white Americans don't like to go and pick oranges in fields of California, but Mexicans do, right?
Yeah, I saw that fact that most Indians moving to the UK usually live a better life.
They contribute more. They become doctors, teachers, but then the prejudice still. My ex-wife's father had a heart attack, and he went to the.
Sorry, but
No. We all do. Not all do, but I have. But he was coming back. He was so prejudiced against Indians, right? But the cardiologist that saved his life was Indian. So I had to remind him, which he didn't like. I said, the man who saved your life is an Indian. And then you prejudice against Pakistanis and Indians and colored people in your country.
Did that change his mind?
Not really, no.
Not really.
No, because he's so set in them. He's so set. They just say it. Look at stupid English older people who voted against, they voted for Brexit. Yes? As society is getting more connected and bigger, Britain decided to be an island on its own.
Yeah.
Right? So the flow of money is not as it should be, as if you were in Greece, Germany, Italy, France, because they got the Eurozone. Yeah, like you go in North America, you got Canada, Mexico, America. There's, cross-border trading. But the British, because of the old British Empire mentality, decided to exit. It's going to kill them.
Yeah, you think Brexit is going to,
It's horrible. The fact is, just traveling alone is so difficult now. If you're traveling from England to France, you got to queue with everybody else. But before you just cross borders, flow of money is not so easy. Cheaper labor are not coming to the UK. They're going all over Europe, so the labor market's suffering. England taxed the world for 250 years. They taxed Africa, they taxed Canada, America, India. Yeah. So what's keeping the British business going is the finance. Because they're money in London, the stock exchange. That's what's going. They've got no manufacturing anymore. It's just the services, McDonald's and coffee shops, mainly. They have R&D and banking sector. They've got nothing else to rely on. But then if you tax the world for 250 years, you got quite a, deep pockets.
Yeah. Remember I asked you about the Trojan horse, right? When we talked about Troy though I know you're a gladiator. Um, my question is, do you think Bitcoin is too good to be true? But now I want you to answer as a genuine investor, somebody who looks at his money. Do you think that perhaps Bitcoin could be a Trojan horse?
Bitcoin is different to other cryptocurrencies because it's like like Ethereum is a really good coin, right?
Yeah,
If there's demand for something, like I can't understand why somebody will go and buy a painting for $500 million.
you can understand.
I can't
You
understand
can't
why
understand.
somebody will go and buy a painting for $200 million. And then I think that's a bit crazy. And then very next year, that same painting gets sold for $220 million. Okay?
Yeah,
I can't understand why Roman Abramovich has got the top 5 yachts and
yeah,
the top 10 in the whole world. So the reason I'm telling you this is that as long as there's demand for something, there's value to something, right?
yeah.
So Bitcoin is limited. I think you'll go up to $1 million. I really do.
But
Bitcoin,
my
but not
question,
all cryptocurrencies.
but my question is, Darius, generally, as I'm not the most knowledgeable in the topic, but what in this world deserves to be priced at 1 million a pop? If
Painting at 220 million a pop. Ferraris now are, you can't, a Rolls Royce is $500,000. So why not? If there's somebody's willing to buy it, I'm happy to sell it. And there's more buyers than sellers, the value will go up. Now, here's the thing. You have let's say you have $100 bill. Yes, $100 bill.
yeah,
What's the value of that $100 bill?
what the market says.
It's a piece of paper.
Well, yes,
So it's a piece of paper, really.
yeah,
Okay?
really,
It's an IOU, which means that you go to the bank and you say, I want $100 of gold, right? They should give you gold pieces worth $100. But in 1970, whatever it was, Nixon
1971,
detached
72,
the
yeah,
gold against the dollar, right? And he
yeah,
pegged it to the oil.
yeah,
And that's why the dollar keeps going. Otherwise, they should be bankrupt by now because they're so indebted. But the fact is that that dollar piece of paper is worthless. The market has a value to it.
yeah,
If all of us went to the bank and said we want dollars against we want gold against our dollars, there's not enough gold in the world.
yeah,
You see?
yeah, I
So
understand.
just because we are brainwashed traditionally, we put a value on a piece of paper. But Bitcoin is the same.
Mind if I ask you this?
Sure. Does that make sense the way I described it?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I agree with what you say. But at the back of my
Now, let me
mind,
say, I agree with what you said, but.
yeah,
The moment
yeah.
you say but means everything I said before was
No, no, I
bullshit.
generally do agree. Though,
And,
okay, yeah, that's a better way to put it.
or however, don't say however or but. So I agree with everything you say and.
Yeah,
Because the moment you say, I love you so much, but.
yeah,
The moment everything you say, but, that means everything I said before about I love you is loads of crap.
right, right. Oh, you're teaching me on the show.
That's what I do.
Yeah, so I agree with what you said. However,
And. However. He said however. Don't say however.
oh,
or
you
but.
don't. I'm
You
not
say
supposed
and.
to say and. Okay, I
Because
forget what I was
but or
going to say.
however is a contradiction. Right? So you say and.
Yes, Darius, thank you for that
You're
correction.
welcome. I will charge you later.
I agree with what you say, and I think,
Yes.
I think my question is: aren't we going to be moving from one means of payment, like money? We give it value, and then we move to Bitcoin, and we give it value.
Yeah. My kids don't carry cash anymore. Everything's on the phone. Yes. When America decided to, during COVID, give out to every American citizen $1,000 or whatever it was, what did they do? They added a couple of zeros. They didn't. There was no physical exchange of money, right? And blockchain is the same. Now, the good thing about blockchain, although it's not cash anymore, it could be units of energy. So somebody with some kind of a value to offer in remote places in Africa can sell their creation, their painting, their whatever it is to a billionaire in Texas without the middleman, without the banks, because whatever you have has a value, right?
Yeah.
Through blockchain, people can value you and you're not relying to go into the effing bank who's been there 200 years, and they take your money. You have to justify where you got your money from, why are you charging, why are you sending. They sit on your money for days, weeks, months. They lend and borrow against your money, and they screw you. Why the banks have got the biggest high street, the biggest premium sites in every city? Because they screw the individuals like you and I to pay for that.
Yeah.
High salaries and stuff like this. Blockchain eliminates the middleman. So of course governments, that's the way they want to control you, right? Of course governments are against it. Dubai is number one in the blockchain industry.
Yeah.
And it could easily, the UAE government, the UAE economy could be bigger than the US economy. Easily. If they entertain blockchain technology. While US and other countries are trying to fight it, this country is embracing it, right? Because the flow of money is going to be so easily coming and going.
Right. Yeah. Beautifully said. Now that we're done understanding crypto, I want to bring your attention to stocks and real estate. Between stocks and real estate, which one do you think is more profitable? Not the safest, the most profitable.
Well, you brought out the point, right? So everything goes up, everything goes down, right?
Yeah.
It's when you enter the market. Pessimists have been saying for the last 5 years, the bubble's going to burst, and it just keeps going. If you look at the stats, there's more demand than there's stock in Dubai. Okay? So it's a good opportunity to buy anything, right? Get in. And it will continue to go up. And when that bubble bursts, it's not going to crash.
Yeah.
So you're still going to have some assets. So just don't make sure you don't stretch yourself. The only thing with stock is you can cash in your stock anytime. With property, you can't. So if you have a property and it's not making you money, or it's gone down in value and there's no buyers for it, you're stuck.
Yeah.
Your cash is tied up. With stock, you can cash in immediately. So it's accessibility to money. So I had stock a year ago in Facebook and Meta and Microsoft. It's almost doubled. I had stock in Alibaba. It's halved. So it'll go up again. Alibaba is a giant.
Yeah.
So it depends if you want to be speculative or not in stock. And it's the same with being speculative in property.
Yeah.
It depends what your resistance is to stress, to change, to uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
How open you are to uncertainty. Like, I love uncertainty. I love risk. And I know I could lose everything, but I could quadruple something. So bring it on. But would my mom do that? No, she wouldn't, because she doesn't like risk.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, this is for me. Now, I'm asking you this for me. In your portfolio, would you prefer holding more of stocks or real estate?
I don't like real estate. I buy real estate to flip.
Okay.
I don't buy, maybe I don't know enough, but I'm going to a course in May to learn about becoming have a portfolio of real estate properties. If you actually look at most successful people, they have a huge real estate portfolio. Okay? Now, if you're relying on returns, you're looking at, if you're lucky, 5-6%. All right? But some stock go up higher. Okay? So it depends. I have different buckets. I have a safety bucket, I have a risk bucket, I have a throwaway bucket. Yes? The fuck off bucket is the Ferraris and the Bentleys.
What's the throwaway bucket? The Ferrari.
The Ferraris, and because they liabilities, right? They're never going to make you money, but you don't give a shit if you lose it. The middle one is, hey, it comes out, see how it goes. And the safe one is property. But I will never buy a property to live in it. Never. I'll never buy my own property.
Yeah.
Because I can make my money work for me. Why do I want to sit on my money? And then are you single?
Well, yeah.
What do you have to think about it? Are you single or
I
not?
thought you were asking me if I'm married.
Are you married?
I'm not married.
So,
I have kids.
So let's say you have kids, but you're not married.
No.
Oh, I see. Come on now, you should know. Do you have kids you don't know about? But
Nah.
here's the thing, right? So let's say right now you buy your own apartment, okay, and tomorrow you're going to meet someone and have children. Your requirements for that property is going to change, but your money's sitting on it. But if you're renting, you could easily change, but all along you got your money working for you, whether you buy property to rent or to other people or buy stock. So always get your money working for you. Don't sit on your money. That's my advice.
Yeah, okay. That was just for me. Now, I want to direct your attention to something else. This is quite interesting. I want you to take a look at this video right here. We'll play it inside the
Okay.
inside the.
So what's the future
entity.
coming with AI technology?
Yeah, no, I just want the question I'm gonna ask you right here.
Robotics. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So while he's looking at that, I'll briefly explain what he's looking at. He's now looking at a robot from Tesla.
Can you really scroll up to a hot chick?
Optimus. Oh no, you're not supposed to see that. That's
I'm
the
only
algorithm.
joking. I'm only joking. Oh, it's the algorithm. Yeah, yeah. I never look at these bikinis. Oops. Oops. I'll just delete that one. I'm just
You
kidding.
should be a comedian, you know.
Algorithms.
So no, she's just talking.
Bloody meta.
Is he? It's not me.
I'm only joking. It was just a robot.
Zuckerberg. Now, what he saw was a Tesla bot, also known as Optimus. They've got a new bot coming up, and this robot was folding clothes, right? And it makes it look so effortless, and it seems very natural, almost like what a human would do. Now, Dariush, what I want to ask you this: if artificial intelligence is going to take all the jobs, and we're seeing that very much possible, yeah, what kind of jobs will humans do in the future? But most importantly, then what is our purpose? What is our purpose in life if it's going to drive the cars, fold the clothes, cook the food, and do the surgeries?
Wow. Where do I start? What's the purpose of life? That one I have to ask God.
Well,
But here's the thing, right? We are in a I don't believe in God. Okay, but I believe in a higher universe. I believe in energy, and I'll explain to you why. Why do we think that there's only 3 dimensions to this planet, to this earth, right? Why can't there be 4 or 5? Because Einstein said time is the 4th dimension, right? So why can't there be 5, 6, 7? Why do we have mirrored lives in different platforms right now, or different dimensions as we speak? Why is there a beginning to an end to anything? Okay, why is it we're not just a blink of an eye in a fast-growing universe where our Milky Way's got 1 billion stars, and the universe is 1 billion Milky Ways in our universe, and there's possibly 1 billion universes in the great galaxy. So who are we really? Who gives a shit who we are, right? We're lucky enough to be having this moment of time, which is like less than a blink of an eye in this grand scale of things. Why do we think we're so special? You know, why do we think we're just not a fly? Because a fly has a life expectancy of 2 days. It's a blink of an eye in our lifetime. A shark has a life expectancy of 300 years, right? Well, why do we think we're so special? Just because we create light bulb, we can fly bullshit things in plane, when you could easily tomorrow find another extraterrestrial that does time travel, and we realize we're actually no ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what I would say, instead of trying to work your purpose, just enjoy fucking life. You come, you go in a blink of an eye. Why do you stress about things? Why do you worry about things? Why do you have hang out? Just laugh, enjoy, because you don't know when it's going to come to an end, right? So I wouldn't ask that question, what's the purpose? Because you never have the answer. You die a frustrated life, because since the beginning of time, people have been asking that question. They don't have it. Religion brings wars, doesn't bring love, doesn't bring peace. Yes, we're all equal. We love each other. We're energy forces, right? So if that kind of answers your question, so we should just chill. Just chill, because nothing really fucking matters. Nothing matters.
Oh, that was a strong answer. But
Don't look so shocked.
no, I'm not shocked at all.
Just joking. So that was your first one. What was the other questions you asked me? It was a loaded question. It was a few things.
Yeah, and you answered the second one. The first one was, now I want to get your answer as really as somebody who creates opportunity. What kind of jobs should we do?
I want to ask you a question. Okay, 120 years ago, 130 years ago, when we were all riding horses. Okay, and suddenly Henry Ford came with Model T.
Yeah.
What do you think the conversation was then?
The conversation must have been, I wonder
What are we going to do with all these
What
horses?
travel is going to be?
Yeah, what are we going to do with those horses? Yeah, all this speed. Oh, we can do over 20 kilometers an hour. We'll be sick.
You're right.
We'll die of dizziness. Yeah, I swear. That people didn't think you could travel more than, I think, 30 kilometers an hour. Otherwise, you'll die. Because human beings never traveled faster than that, right? And then what happened to when manufacturing came along, when everybody was doing things by hand? What was the conversation then? Well, manufacturing is going to come along and it's going to kill all jobs. Whenever there's change coming, unfortunately, most people think pessimistically, right? Data. You need data. You need creativity. Yes? Mundane tasks. Unfortunately, here's the thing, right? Do I need somebody to clean my toilets? Yes. Do I need somebody to drive the buses? Yes. Do I need somebody to teach my kids? Yes. These are mundane tasks over, and repetitive jobs are going to be over. But then creativity is going to grow, right? So where there's pain, there's pleasure somewhere else. When there's scarcity, there's opportunity somewhere else. The people who see change and welcome it are the ones who are going to do well. The ones who fear it are going to die.
Yeah.
So I'm embracing AI. Yeah, I can't wait to have it more and more.
So we should,
just get me a AI wife.
They're not there yet, but I think
I'm looking forward to that one.
I should
Ticked all my boxes.
I should call Elon and ask him that.
I'm not going to call Elon.
Yeah,
I'm going to call Playboy. Elon's not going to give me my AI wife.
we should come back to that in 2030.
Wife's watching going, well, I don't want two of them. So just,
I want to ask you something.
It's live, right? Just, oops. She won't be watching.
Shout out to your wife. How you doing?
AI.
I want to direct your attention to real estate once again. Yeah. Do you have any properties on mortgage?
Yes.
And the question that I want to ask to any investor out there, because I just closed a deal, and this because they're a new home buyer, they were very worried about the mortgage and all that. So my question is, should you pay off your mortgage as first as possible?
No.
And why is that?
Make your money work for you. So what happens is, whilst you're paying off your mortgage, if you got any surplus, and I hope you do, put it in savings and compound it. Okay, so are you familiar with compound growth?
Yes, yeah.
Right? So people don't know about compound growth. Poor people spend it too quickly. So plan it over 10, 15, and start saving as soon as possible. Because I calculated, I've got enough savings for my son, 9-year-old, already, that if he compounds it, by the time he's 21, he'll be a millionaire. But not even touch that money.
Yeah, just...
So keep saving. Get into a habit of saving any surplus you have, 10 or 20%, and put it into savings and compound it. And that's the best way you can earn money. Warren Buffett did that. Look how rich he is. So, pay off the mortgage better than rent. Make your money work for you. Make intelligent decisions. Talk to people like me who have made intelligent decisions with your savings, and let them guide you. Because putting your money in your bank is not the answer. The bank gives you 3-4% a year. Well, inflation is running at 9%.
Yeah.
Right? So you're actually losing your money every year. Yeah. So make intelligent decisions. And now you've got no excuse. You can Google all the answers.
Yeah.
It's there. Just spend some time researching it. Take money seriously. Yeah. Right? Because it gives you choices. The more money you have, the more choices you have. The more choices you have, the more free you feel. The more freedom you have, like a gladiator.
Yeah.
So the more battles you win, the more people you entertain, the wealthier you get, the freedom you receive.
Yeah. Excellent. So to all investors out there, you should really, really put your money to use and let it work for you instead of rushing to pay off your mortgage.
Or sitting on the cash, just in case.
Yeah.
We talked about you walked into a room full of cash when you were
in a
hotel. That's the worst thing you can do, because by the time you leave, the value has gone down, right? So make your money work for you.
Yeah. We're seeing tremendous growth in the economy in the Middle East, in Dubai, in the UAE, and the chart seems to be, on an upward trajectory. Is the Middle East the new gold mine for business?
Yes.
we're seeing everybody come to the Middle East. Do you
Yeah.
think that's the new go-to place for success in business?
Depend. Middle East is a big area, so I wouldn't say Iraq is or Afghanistan,
Yeah,
right? Or Iran at the moment.
yeah,
But yeah, like, I'll give you an example. Let's talk about UAE,
yeah,
right? Incredible security, safety, stability, infrastructure. So all the boxes are ticked. Now, there's huge amount of money in Saudi Arabia. They literally trillions, yes? Do you want to go and live in Saudi Arabia? Do you share their values? It's up to you, okay?
yeah,
I won't particularly go to somewhere chasing the money when the energy and the environment doesn't have the same values of equality for women, fair pay structure. So I choose to spend time. I can go to the most amazing resort, have the most beautiful 2 weeks of my life with my family. But you know what I do? I look over the wall and I see slavery. I can't have a good time. So it depends with your morals and your values, right?
yeah,
So I think the Middle East, the UAE is doing incredibly, continue to grow. But then no chart is just a straight line. The
yeah,
chart is up and down.
yeah,
You just have a look at it over a period of time. And I think it's going to do better and better and better. Saudi is just going straight up.
yeah.
But then, do you want to live in Saudi Arabia? That's the question. Would you have the same freedoms you would in UAE? So you got to balance it all. But as far as economy is concerned, here's the opportunity.
I think
Not
they,
Europe or America or Africa's great opportunity. But unfortunately, there's not that much structure or law and order in some
yeah,
countries.
yeah,
You have to be very smart, street smart, to do well in Africa, in majority of places.
yeah, yeah. But also we're seeing places like Saudi becoming, not too strict. I think they're trying to change the whole business over there and say, hey, you can now come and spend your money here. They're trying to be a little bit lenient, if I may say. Do you think that is going to be, to take all the attention from
Well, here's
Dubai?
here's the thing, right? I go to America, I see Dubai, I go, whoa. And then you go, I'm going to Saudi and it's got two swords. And I just don't think, when people are looking at a holiday resort and they're going to get their wives in bikinis, they're thinking, wow, Saudi is on top of my list. Yeah, so they need to work on the marketing, right? It's true, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right?
the
So,
clothes, but
yeah,
yeah,
it'll take time and they're buying golf, they're buying football, tennis, boxing, they're trying and good on them, and they need to move with the times. But I think they're still 50 years behind UAE and certainly Dubai. But maybe they're catching up. But right now, I think if I had Dubai and Saudi for a family
Dubai.
holiday, I think Dubai will win. Hands down. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know if I need visas, and there's so much uncertainty. I don't know. But I know with Dubai it's easy. They have the best airport, best airline, best everything. So why? It's that the standards are the highest.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was a really, really genuine answer. You didn't
Yeah.
hold back, and I like it. Um,
Do
so
gladiators hold back?
no, they
Never.
don't. Who would you be, by the way, if, back in the time? Would you be the one owning the arena, or would you be the gladiator in the arena fighting the other gladiators?
Good question. I'll be Spartacus. Do you know who Spartacus
Yeah,
was?
yeah. It was
He had the slave
really
who had the
bad.
uprising
Yeah, yeah.
and then set the slaves free. That's what I would do. I would start a movement, and I'll rise against
Yeah.
the unjust.
It takes a lot of courage,
It does.
bravery,
It does.
and
And along the way, the reason Spartacus failed because half his men went against him. Right? He wanted to go north, and they all want to turn back. And unfortunately, with human beings, you got to accept the fact that not everybody is going to be on your side, even if you're right. And look at Martin Luther King. Look at Gandhi. Not
yeah,
everybody liked him, right? Look at JFK. Every great human being has had people against them, and it just comes with the territory. And the more higher up you have, the more haters you have. But you just got to stick to your guns, stick to your vision, have the desire to change and grow. in this short span of life that we have.
Yeah.
My grandma was 92 and she said to me, Dariush, life is so short.
She was 92.
92. And she said life was short.
Wow. That was amazing. But also, I want to understand why Gladiator. What happened? What happened for you to be that inspired by the whole concept of being a gladiator?
I like Rome. I go to Rome a lot, and I have an association with Rome and the Roman Empire, and I can just spend a day in the Colosseum. I can walk around the streets of Rome and just imagine what things were like before. And they were actually a very modern society. They had apartment blocks and they had running water showers and everything. The viaducts, they brought water for hundreds of kilometers. People still don't know how they brought water across,
Yeah.
land. And so they were very, very smart, and we actually haven't moved far in 2,000 years. But the point is that I always associated myself with the gladiator because I was born poor and I've had loads of things, odds against me. And I always raced to the odds and I've done well, and I've had health challenges. And I think, you know what? Maybe like a cat, 9 lives. It never was my time.
Yeah.
So whilst you're here, and the thing is, right, if gladiators were sex symbols. Did you know that?
Well,
They would actually collect their
Spartacus,
sweat.
it was quite something
No, they
else.
would collect their sweat and sell them to the public. Before they actually went to war or fight, women will pay to sleep with them before they went to. They were heroes, yes, and most didn't get killed. Most entertained, and the more they committed to the audience, the less people wanted them to die.
Yeah.
You see, so they didn't play half ball. They didn't play wishy. And all my life, I played full on. So
Yeah.
there's this association with gladiators that, yeah, I want to be a man amongst men. I want to fight my battles, no filters. I don't give a shit what people think. Yes, and you're not going to kill me because I'll just get up tomorrow and fight again. So that thing, and I thought, and I have this thing going on with Rome. So why not? Why not?
Yeah.
You had the alpha here,
Yeah.
Rico, but gladiators are far greater than alpha. So. I'm just joking. Peace. I love you, brother.
I'll send him this little clip.
I'll send it myself. Don't worry. Just don't copy him.
Now, unfortunately, we coming to the end of the show. Dariush is certainly a busy man. I'm sure he has a million other things to do today.
By the way, don't say that. You know why? I am a busy man, but I made time for you because you are my priority right now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm honored that you invited me.
Thank you.
Yeah? You are going to be super freaking successful. It's just a matter of time. So I honor you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll clip this part and I'll play it back once I've done something amazing, and
It's just time.
I'll send it back to you. I really appreciate
Love you, man.
it.
Thank you.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
You mean you've heard it before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I like to be the first for everything.
So thank you. I really appreciate that.
It's true. And you don't have to thank me because it's true. Just take it, grasp it. See, when people say thank you, it's just like they feel unworthy of it. Okay? We come here, I brought my team along, and we're blown away by your professionalism, your vision, your energy, and just embrace it. Don't say thank you because you're worthy of it. Just acknowledge it. That's it. It's hard not to say thank you, isn't it? Yeah.
I didn't know we were gonna meet a string. My last question for the day, Darius, is now after such encouraging word, I'm going towards another direction. Are you concerned about the political tension right now in the world? Yeah, we're seeing what's going on with Israel. We're seeing what's going on with Russia. We're seeing what's going on with China. Are you concerned about all of this negative news?
What do you think my answer is going to be?
I know I know what you're all about. I know, but
What do you think my answer is going
my
to be?
question is from a business perspective. Yeah, from a business perspective.
Why do you think there are wars?
Why I think there's war.
Mm.
Well, I think times are changing. I think.
Wars are business opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Ukraine is just a tool right now for the East and West to flex their muscles with their weapons. That's all it is. And since the beginning of time, Ukraine has always been that country, unfortunately, between the East and West. In First World War, Second World War, and now.
Proxy or
The
something.
Balkans have always had trouble, right? With war is a economic machine, right? Because if you destroy a tank, it could be $50 million, right? It's business, it's employment. So economically, those bullets, those rockets, those drones, they all cost money. Some human being made it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just economy. That's all it is. Human beings have been dying since the beginning of time based on wars, based on greed and money. Okay?
Yeah.
So what's happening now is nothing comparing to 60 years, 70 years ago when there was Second World War, First World War before that, Spanish War before that, the Crimean War before. Wars have been happening all the Napoleonic Wars,
Yeah.
Genghis Khan. This is not as bad as those days. I'll tell you what, if I was around Genghis Khan's days, I'll be worried because they'd come and just kill me, my family, and everything, and they'd piss on our grave, right? At least there's some law and order somewhere along the way, right? So economically, there's opportunities at every war,
Yes.
right?
Because we
Does
still.
it piss me off that right now, as we're speaking, innocent children are losing their limbs and dying, and it's unfair? Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't smile knowing that that kind of unfairness is going on. At the same time, Palestinians aren't the only children dying right now. There's people dying in China, in Africa, all over the world. There's pedophilia going on. The amount that I've...
Yeah, that's a whole nother kind of worms as well.
Right. So unfortunately, that's freaking human beings, right? But then if you're constantly concentrating on the greater bad news, why do you want to go to work? Right? What's the point of it all? Because they're all going to end. Okay? So you just realize that's human beings since the beginning of time with our issues and problems. But then you have your own little circle. You have your own rent to pay, family to look after. Just focus on your own life and do good. And like I try to, and touch people in the right way, one person at a time. And hopefully you can pick up some momentum and a tribe of good energy and love and understanding and abundance, right? And hopefully the light will kill the dark.
Yeah.
I'm very spiritual today, I think. Very deep stuff.
Yeah.
I notice Alexa over there is totally bored of my spirituality, but it's okay. She's heard it too much.
Yeah, but hey, you know, I love it because it's giving me a whole different perspective. You know, I knew I was going to meet this larger than life investor, so I prepared accordingly. But I'm starting to see there's a whole different aspect to back to that topic.
Life is all about perspective, isn't it? Yeah, life is about. I remember an advert in England, and there was an old lady walking, and there was this skinhead guy running with tattoos, running towards this old lady, and then the clip finishes, right? And you think, oh my God, he was just about to attack her, right? And then the clip continues, and he jumps and pulls her away, and the piano lands on the ground. Right?
Oh, so
perception.
he saved her life.
He saved her life. You see, so it's all perception. It's how we see things, right? Life is all about how we see things. And whatever we concentrate on is we get. Whatever you focus on, you magnify. So I know it's there. I know pain is there, but it's been there since the beginning of time. But in this moment we have called life, let's make the most of it.
Yeah. I mean, you've already answered the question.
Thank you very much.
No, don't go yet. But I'll ask it anyway because maybe the audience would have loved to hear that. So, how do you advise business people to proceed through this uncertain time? Where
it's not uncertain. You keep saying it. You keep focusing on uncertain, but uncertainty is a good thing, right?
Because Dariush, you see, what happened was when the the Ukraine and Russia war happened, it brought a lot of business to the UAE. So from that perspective, like, how should,
Can I ask you a question?
yeah,
How many people are there in Russia? 200 odd million? 30 odd million in Ukraine? I don't know.
yeah,
Okay? How many wealthy people do we need in Dubai for the economy to just blow? Not enough, right? It's a trickle. And then you've got India, then you got China, then you got America, then you got Europe. They're all coming here.
yeah,
Think abundance all the time. The richest people on the planet are the ones who serve the most amount of people. Think about it. Bill Gates, richest man on the planet because he put PCs on everybody's desk,
yeah,
right? Amazon, he delivers more boxes to homes than anybody else on the planet.
yeah,
Elon Musk sells more electric cars than anybody. He solves the biggest problems on the planet. He's the richest man on the planet. Tom Cruise, richest actor, he sells the most amount of seats in cinemas there. Something Khan, whatever, Indian actor, richer than Tom Cruise. There's
Shah Rukh Khan,
1.5 billion Indians sit in cinemas watching his movies, right? So it's all relevant. Think about abundance, 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 right? And the money will flow towards you. The people who are poor think limited, right? This not enough Russians are coming out. That wave has stopped. That wave has stopped. When look at so close to home, when September the 11th struck, 2001, Sheikh Mohammed placed the biggest order for planes in the history of the planet. When the whole world was saying nobody's going to fly,
yeah,
Sheikh Mohammed and Emirates Airlines placed the biggest order for planes. That's leadership.
yeah,
Because he knew it soon shall pass.
yeah,
When COVID struck, people were talking about people aren't going to shake hands anymore. They're not going to go out anymore. I remember fighting people saying human beings like to get together. And look at it now. Back together like never before. Like COVID never existed.
yeah,
Pessimists see scarcity.
yeah,
Business people, entrepreneurs see opportunity and abundance.
right,
And leaders and visionary know amazing things are going to happen. Every single year, every single air show, Emirates place orders. Dubai is a small city. I think the whole of Dubai is the size of Kent in England. And Kent is a small country, right? But the whole world knows Dubai because that visionary, that man, Sheikh Mohammed, the ruler of the country, because his vision has made Dubai #1 city on the planet by far, right?
yeah,
Has he been screwed? Has he been taken advantage of? Has he been stolen from? All the time. And sometimes those people can face death or life sentences, but people still try to screw him. But he's stuck in his guns and he had his vision and he continues to grow. And incredible, incredible.
amazing. Dariush, any parting shot to somebody watching this and they say, you know what, I want to be just like you know, to the young people who want to perhaps be investors and
But shake your head, eat a lot. Yes? Those are the two. Yeah? They can be very, like me, very quickly. Right?
but anyway, that in that sense, yeah. But really, what should young people do, you know, to be?
Shake their head and eat a lot.
Do you think I should do that too?
No, you're far better looking. So, what should they do? They should spend their time wisely, right? What they should do, review every hour they spend. What are they doing? And be their own biggest judge, okay? Because most people waste time.
Yeah.
When I do a seminar, it's all about money, and they're all going, whoa, 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 and we have a 1 hour break. I'll walk through the people, and they're all talking about the weekend. They're talking about bullshit football and stuff like this. And I'm like, you're in a seminar, you just pay loads of money, you've learned lots of things. Why don't you just talk business with someone? Why don't you? It's just like they want it, but they're not prepared to work for it. So the younger you start, the better it is, right? But unfortunately, it's harder it is because when you're young, you feel time is, you have so much of it.
Yeah.
When you get older, you find time more precious. You don't waste it as much. So if there are young people watching, right now, the best thing you can do is be aware of how you spend your time.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I want to ask you this: what did you want to be when you were growing up?
And I still don't know what I want to be. So just go with the flow, right? Because the energy will bring things. So I'll be this. Tomorrow I'll be something else. But as long as I'm serving, doing greater good, and I look in the mirror and I think, okay, I'm happy with what I've achieved today. That's all that matters. Why do people die for medals? Ego. Napoleon said people die for medals, right? I'm going to see Richard Branson in March on his island. I'm spending a week with Richard Branson. Okay, now he's Sir Richard Branson. I'm driving here today thinking, should I call him Richard or should I call him Sir Richard? But I'm thinking, people actually give a shit about being called Sir. Yeah, when they get knighthoods. So I guess Sir Richard, but who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? I admire the guy as a businessman and a marketeer, but people do give a shit for titles and names. But really, ultimately, it doesn't mean anything.
Right. So your philosophy is just
Go with the flow. Do the best you can every day. Have your values, have your boundaries. Just go with the flow, and that's it. That's the best you can do, isn't it?
That's beautiful. It's a complete 180 from it.
Stop putting pressure on yourself. You're born, and my kids, what do you want to do when you grow up? Why are you asking them a stupid question? Yeah, why should they worry about the future? Just let them be. Let them be. And that's the best you can be. That's it. We get them to worry. When you meet a child and they give them a toy and they throw the toy away and they're happy with the box, they're in the moment. They're not thinking, oh, I'm going to get told off because I threw the box away, or I didn't have a box yesterday, and would I have another box tomorrow? They don't give it. They're in the moment. And somewhere along the way, we impose worrying and stuff on our children. Yeah? Because nobody should care. Just live in the moment. That's all you have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't change the past. Don't live in it. And don't worry about the future. It's never as bad as you think it is.
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing. I think might as well just ended it there. Yeah.
You're in the presence of greatness.
Don't think of the past, you can't change it. Don't think of the future. It's probably not as good as you think it
You
would
never
be.
worry. No, you've taken my saying and turned it on its head. The future is never going to be as bad as your worries. The future can be smarter and better than you could ever think, right? But you can remember the past, but don't live in the past. So you can say, oh, that was a stupid mistake, but then go, oh, I made that stupid mistake. Because you're living the negative emotion, right?
Yeah.
Because it affects you now. So just remember it. Don't make the same mistake. Move on. Dust yourself down and go. And don't worry. Because the reality is never as bad as your worries.
Yeah.
Have you ever had sleepless nights and you wake up in the morning, you walk through the day and think, why was I worrying before? Why was I so nervous the night before?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah. And you did the deal, right?
Yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah. You should never worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this. It's been an amazing show. I hope you learned as much as I did. The gladiator himself. Mr.
I salute you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Being with us in the Offline Show. And what is it that you say, I salute you?
That's what gladiators do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they say, I salute you. Gladiator, I salute you.
Thank you.
Whether you're going to kill me or not, I salute you because I respect you.
And I think they shake hands like this, the other way around. I don't know if it's the gladiator.
I don't know, it's a bit gay, but I'll take it.
No, I think they do.
Maybe it's in the gay arena, yes? But maybe we can do this.
We'll say great. Finish it up like that.
I love you, man.
Love you too, man. It's been a fascinating show. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. And I can't thank you enough.
See you next year. When you've seen this growth for you, remember me, okay?
Of course
Invite
I will.
me. And I'll look at my diary and let you know.
Yeah, looking forward to do that again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And that's all we have for today. Dariush, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining us here in the Offline Show studio. And this part of the show, we're going to ask you a few questions so that we get to know you more, okay? So I'll begin. Number one, what was your first car?
Ford Brown Escort.
Excellent. What's the next big opportunity that you see right now?
Healthcare.
What's your favorite city?
Prague.
What's your favorite book?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
I love that one too. And who do you look up to right now?
I would like to meet Dalai Lama. Art of Being Happy.
Excellent. What's your favorite movie?
Gladiator.
So, who is the most inspirational global leader that you'd like to meet and perhaps you admire?
Sheikh Mohammed, the ruler of Dubai. We're blessed to be here. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be who I am today. He's created the most amazing environment, but we get all treated equally with potential opportunity to work hard, be honorable, and have the most amazing life. And the current leader, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, also.
Thank you so much for joining us in the OFFPLAN Show studio. It's been an amazing episode, and I wish you a successful 2024.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dariush.
I salute you.